Okay.
Awesome sauce.
Alright, your turn.
A cool car raced through the city streets. So the cars that went down the big street with lots of other cars on it. The city was filled with buildings with lights and other things like places like McDonald's. Comma, shouted the car as it went back and forth in between other cars. So it did not have to wait in traffic. The car was playing techno and rock and roll music. Techno is short for technology. Reek! Yelled the car, doing a big turn in the city in 2 sections. Location update on the Ultra Chaos Emerald, said the driver of the car. The car screen blinked to different things, and then a robot voice said, beep beep, Ultra Chaos Emerald getting closer. Shadow looked at the map screen and drove faster towards, Shadow. Location update on the Ultra Chaos Emerald. The red dot was, where the last Ultra Chaos Emerald was. Beep 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 beep, said the car in a robot voice as Shadow got closer to the dot while driving in his car. It was just around the corner now. Shadow did another fast turn at the intersection and right to where the red dot on the map was. Beep 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 beep, screamed the car in a robot voice as his car dot and the Ultra Chaos Emerald dot on the map moved into each other. In the real world, Shadow pulled up to the curb and there was a couple of gang men. Thanks, Omega, said Shadow as he hopped out of the car. Why is Omega a fucking car? This is like when Morgana turns into a van, except it's Omega.
What's Omega?
Go look up E123 Omega. They done turned my boy into a fucking car.
Alright.
He's the coolest. Thanks, Omega, said Shadow as he hopped out of the car, which was black and red, and onto the dark city street. He looked at the blacks standing there and they looked dangerous. But Shadow knew they had the Ultra Chaos Emerald. Shadow took out a gun and pointed at them and said, "Give me the last Ultra Chaos Emerald!" And they looked surprised and startled. They checked their pockets while they were doing that. The gun became used and Shadow shot all 3 of them. They were now— he really does just be in the city doing crime. They were now dead. Shadow reached in the middle of one's pocket and found what he had come for. The last Ultra Chaos Emerald. They were like regular
But
Chaos
that doesn't
Emeralds.
mean he's a bad guy.
Yeah, that doesn't mean he's a bad guy. I hope someday people realize that. But more powerful and secret until they were found. Shadow hopped back into his car, Omega the robot car, and said, "I got it. Now I can get one wish to come true. I'm gonna think about what I will use it on before I use it." Okay? Shadow looked at the map and said, "Give me directions to Hamburger Restaurant." Omega changed some screens and said in a robot voice, "Beep, boop, bop, Hamburger Restaurant, location found. It is over here." And Shadow looked at where the dot was. It was right nearby, so Shadow drove there with more loud sounds. Shadow went to the drive-thru and got a hamburger and fries and sat in the parking lot. You know, canonically, Sonic and his friends eat at McDonald's.
Actually?
Yeah, I think it was, what's his face? The, co-creator of Sonic was being interviewed, and he said that, yes, canonically they eat at McDonald's. They don't know if we eat at McDonald's.
Like every meal? Or just like
I really hope not, because then all that fat art's gonna come true. Oh.
I want to imagine they go to McDonald's. They go to McDonald's, and Knuckles is like saying to Tails, Can I get a milkshake?" And then Tails is like, "Sure, what do you want?" And he's like, "Sure, do you want a big one or a small one?" He's like, "A small one's okay." And then when he actually gets a small one, he's like, "But I was being humble."
That's Alex. That's just Alex.
Yeah. That was Alex and Josiah when we went to Wawa.
This is great. I love this place. It is always the place that I love to come to after I finish a crime, said Shadow darkly. Omega did not need food because he was a robot shaped into a car. Shadow finished eating and threw the garbage into Omega's trash hole where he turned litter into gasoline, which is useful. Then Shadow took his penis out. "Damn. Hey, Omega, check this out," said Shadow, laughing as he took his big, neat, hard penis and snuck it into Omega's trash hole. Unrecognized. Unrecognized unrecognized item in trash hole. Error, said Omega. That's my penis, man. said Shadow to Omega. Penis not trash. Not allowed in trash hole. Said Omega to Shadow. Shadow couldn't fit all of his big, strong penis into Omega's trash hole anyways. So he took it out and gave Omega a taste of his balls, too. Omega did not recognize Shadow's balls as trash either, which is good. And then Shadow put his balls back and started to try him out with his hands still on his penis. Where is Silver's house? Said Shadow to Omega while he rubbed really quick and hard on his penis with one hand. That's how I roll during my test. While driving, Omega updated his map and showed where Silver's house was on the other side of the dark city.
Shadow Vegeta asking where Trunks is.
Yeah. Shadow kept empowering his penis with his one hand and he drove faster and more dangerously. Soon his penis was so big he could hardly see the front of him anymore, and he was running across the street trying to keep both his penis and the car in control. Then he put both hands on his penis and made it do all sorts of things until it was done and his penis redecorated the inside of Omega with white curtains. Just so you know, that's my semen. Said Shadow to Omega. Omega knew that already. Why is he doing this to Omega? Shadow put both of his hands back on the steering wheel and drove faster than suddenly some loud sound and flashing lights went behind him. Whack, whack, whack. The police is following you, said Omega. Shadow decided to follow the laws and stopped his car in the street and waited for the police to come over to him. Shadow's penis was still big though, so he tucked it under his leg on the right and it stuck up in the middle of the Omega car, and Shadow put his hand on it. The police came over to the front of the window and looked at Shadow's inside. Cool vehicle, said the police. Thanks, said Shadow to the police back. Okay, do you know what you were breaking a law by going that fast back and forth in the street, said the police to Shadow, sounding more like Miss Lesson than a real person. Yeah, I do, said Shadow, and he patted his hand on his penis in the middle of the front of the car. Sir, please take your hand off the gear stick in the middle of the car right now, said the police to Shadow. Shadow looked at the police and laughed. That's not just a gear stick, this is my penis, and drove off before the police could say anything or even really react at all. You have broken another law, said Omega to Shadow. Shadow laughed because he could see the police car far behind him, giving up and going back to look for an easier criminal. Now, said Shadow, let's get back to Silver's house. Shadow drove the car fast to Silver's house on the other side of the city, and then when he got there, he braked the car so hard that the sound it made was like hearing the world's largest bird get punched in his tummy. Shadow honked the horn, and when he finished honking the horn, Silver jumped out of the window and onto the street and into the side seat of Omega. Gross. Hey Shadow, thanks for the ride, said Silver. Cool curtains you put up. Shadow laughed and said, no problem. Now, if I do not hurry up by driving fast, you will be late for the play. Silver said, do not worry, we will get there in time. Silver was another big role for the play, but he was not a huge gay like Charmy B. Silver was kind of like Sonic, but less fast. Sonic also had the best morals, but maybe Silver dressed better. But that was kind of gay too. Silver did have this big hair thing on the front that looked like a marijuana. That's true actually. So maybe Sonic was better at being stylish anyways. It is hard to tell because Silver lived in the city, which was kind of far away from high school. Shadow stepped on the gases and the car went away to the city in the moonlight and toward out the city to the high school.
Wow.
That chapter was like artful.
That was amazing. I think Shadow definitely would do that.
I think so too, because he does crimes and stuff. But he's not a bad guy.
That's not the gear stick, that is my penis.
That's not the gear stick, that is my penis. Why is he tapping on his dick while he's talking to the cop? Hey Omega, check this out. He just puts his dick in Omega? Like what?
This might be the best.
You should look at Silver. You'll see what he means by the hair thing. Okay. Alright, bro. Okay, so we're in cover. Okay. See, that's the marijuana.
I see it. I see it.
It's no use. Take this. Wait for the drama. Does Sonic kill his girlfriend by putting his sex in her? Find out this time on Dragon Ball Z.
I gotta figure out if this is the... Okay, you have to read that one. Alright, anyway. Sonic and Amy got to high school and went to the play, which was at the school. When they got to the auditorium, they were not expecting to be surprised, but they were, because the auditorium was actually full of men and women idiots waiting to see the play. Cool young people sat as high school students did not come to see the play unless they had to. The place was so full that Sonic and Amy had to sit in the bad seats surrounded by strangers that could have been dirty or usually did crime.
True.
Alright. Usually or usually did crime? What does that even mean, bro?
I don't know. Naughty
Sonic
people.
looked around. Anyway, they were surrounded by people who were dirty or usually did crime. Sonic looked around the place and saw Rouge and Knuckles Jr., who was a baby. Wow.
Yes.
He's still a baby. Sitting really by the door out. What? Who was a baby sitting really by the door out. And Tails and Cream all the way on the other side, which was where they probably would have sat anyway because Tails hated Sonic to the sky. Sonic also saw Shadow standing around places, but he did not get a seat because he was too bad for that. This is true. Sitting down is like negative aura.
Yeah, he has to stand across his arms.
Yeah. And then the Piccolo aura finally music plays. Oh no. Oh, this is gonna be a Breaking Bad moment, I think.
Keep fucking reading, bro.
We're at the play now, said Amy to Sonic, even though she was surrounded by people who were neither of them. I wonder when it will begin. It's going to start soon, said Sonic back to Amy. What I am wondering is not that, but it is if Charmy is going to mess up big time because he has been acting weird all week. I bet he will. Sonic laughed about this because it really did not matter to him, but it did to Charmy.
Poor fucking Charmy.
He hates Charmy. This is understandable because I hate Charmy too.
I played the level in Shadow where Charmy's trying to like get you to get the secret discs, but I didn't turn him off the whole time. And actually, you know, I've decided I've warmed up to Charmy a little bit.
This is fake.
No, I'm sorry.
You have the
I'm
worst
gonna be a
takes.
Charmy sympathizer from now on.
No, this is fake. This is fake. You know what? You're just a hater, I think. You're gonna play Persona 5.
I'm a hater because
like,
I
I'm
sympathize
sorry,
with
Morgana.
Charmy B. He's like, it's a giant worm. He's like, we're in a war zone.
You're gonna play Persona 5, and you're like, I'm sorry, Morgana.
No,
I didn't realize how goated you were.
I'm not. I would do 9/11 just to keep Morgana from being born. I would do 3 more
Morgana's
Pearl
awesome.
Harbors, 5 more 9/11s. I'd do a fucking Hiroshima and Nagasaki if it kept that motherfucker from being made.
Would you do Operation Overlord?
I'd do Operation Overlord. I'd do another fucking Operation Desert Storm. I'd commit fucking massacres. I'd do the Tet Offensive.
The Tet Offensive is crazy.
Continue.
The play they were doing was The Christmas Story, even though it was not Christmas time, but they thought it was a good idea to do anyway. In the play, Silver played Joseph, who was Jesus' dad. Charmy played Mary, even though he was not a girl. Everyone thought he was anyway. Baby version Jesus was going to be played by Knuckles, who was fitting for the role now that he was a baby.
I'm like low-key genuinely wondering if part of this isn't ironic and the person writing it really is just like demented.
No, I
really hope it's ironic, and I really think it is, but I've been wondering this whole time, like, is the person who wrote this maybe just a little...
Sonic and Amy sat patiently in the seats they were in, even though Sonic could have been running around. Sonic waited by rubbing Amy's leg and seeing how close he could get his hand to her vagina before she rubbed him off. Sonic determined that Amy was prime and ready for sex because her vagina felt hard and loose as far as he could tell. When he would get close to it with his hand before the play began, he almost forgot that he had the deadly ball disease.
So true, Sonic.
The play eventually started, and it was just as gay as you thought it would be. There was singing and songs, but otherwise, it was just like the Christmas Story always was. Mary got a letter from an angel saying she was going to have a baby, but she did not want to have the baby at home because the king would not let babies vote. Okay. So Mary and Joseph rode bikes all the way from London to Jerusalem. When they got there, the hospital was full, so they went to the barn and had the baby there. And it turned out to be the legendary hero Jesus. Through the whole play, Silver did a really good job, and Charmy did an okay job, but everyone sure believed he was a woman because his voice was so high in girls. Is this what happened? Is this in the Bible?
I'm pretty sure.
Then they got to the ending where Mary was to have her baby out. Mary flipped onto her front and Joseph pulled Jesus out of her butt.
That happened.
Which looked totally fake, even Sonic could tell, even with special effects. Joseph held Jesus up to show God and then gave him to Mary, who was actually Charmy. Thanks, I forgot. Charmy looked at Jesus, Knuckles, in case you forgot from the last paragraph, really close, then reached into his clothing with the hand that was not holding him and began to pull out a knife. Time to get murdered, said Charmy as he started to kill Knuckles. Just as he began to do this, Silver bodily threw it into him. He knocked Knuckles up and away from Charmy. Oh my god, what is happening? Said Amy, who was startled hard. Charmy is trying to kill Knuckles, obviously, said Sonic to Amy. It was true. The people started yelling and screaming. Just then, a gunshot came from the back of the audience. Shadow pulled out his gun from his spot and aimed it at Charmy Hui from the back of the audience. Shadow fired his gun and the bullet hit his head. But he must have been wearing a bulletproof helmet because the bullet from the gun went off his head.
It's not a bulletproof helmet, so it's a gun-proof helmet.
I'm sorry, a gun-proof helmet. My bad. I didn't even see that. Where it hit a light and the light fell down along with other things. something from the ceiling fell into the back of the stage where the props were, and one of the props was a bomb. And that they used for some things. The prop was a real bomb, though.
Thanks for the clarification.
And when the thing hit, the bomb exploded. That's amazing writing.
This is better than Titanic. This is better than Avatar and Aliens, and like, wow.
This is actually awesome. A light fell down with other things, and then
it hit
something fell from the ceiling.
It's a bomb, a real bomb, and it exploded.
It was something. Something fell, and that something that fell
exploded. Hit the bomb. A huge explosion, like a bunch of horses made of fire.
The bomb. Dude, these are like actually like.
I should have been taking notes on this guy's work when I was in English class in like 2nd and 3rd grade when they were asking us to use like similes and metaphors. Similes are comparing something to something else using like or as, and a metaphor is that, but without like or as.
Okay, yeah. This dude's like similes are actually amazing. These are like the best similes I've ever heard.
Yeah.
The bomb exploded with a huge explosion, like a bunch of horses made of fire running through the place. Suddenly, people did not really care about the play anymore because the place was full of fire and could kill you. Rouge and Knuckles Jr. got out quickly right away because they were by the door. Sonic looked and saw Amy next to him and was almost unconscious. Yeah, that conscience, right? Unconscious?
Yeah, unconscious. So nobody's trying to help Knuckles, by the way. Nobody's trying to save Knuckles.
Yeah, I was just realizing that. I was thinking, like, Rouge isn't gonna, like,
Sonic's not gonna, like, Knuckles. Speed up there and get him. Rouge isn't gonna try and save her other baby.
Kind of. I mean, maybe she should, like, kill Knuckles, who is also the baby, because he can't live, because it's not safe for him to live outside of the lab.
Yeah, because of the Inestein thing.
Yeah. Okay, so Amy was almost unconscious because of all the fire and smoke and shocking things.
That's sad.
Sonic picked her up and ran out of the auditorium with his fast speed. Sonic found Rouge and Knuckles Jr. outside the hallway where it was safe. "Are you okay?" said Rouge. "Knuckles Jr. predicted this would happen, so we sat by the door so we could get out easily." Dude, that's so real. Thank you, Knuckles Jr.
It's fucked up. They didn't try to save Knuckles at all.
Yeah. Yeah, yes, we are okay. Amy here is going into a shock attack, but it is nothing she will not get over. Sonic looked around and saw people running out, but there was a lot of other people still stuck in the auditorium, and some of them were fainted. People were leaving and not helping the other people get out. But yes, yeah, dude, this is the best character. We're gonna get to know her better later on in the chapters. The lunch lady who had ears but was deaf was running into the auditorium and carrying women and children back out. The lunch lady lived in Mongolia by herself as a child, but she's from Bangladesh, by the way.
Fucking
she's Bangladeshi, but she's from
Goku, our lunch lady, carrying trees back from the frozen forests.
Yeah. The villages. She lived in Mongolia by herself as a child and became very strong from carrying trees back from the frozen forest to the village that she traveled between, so now she could carry stacks of people. Since she was deaf, all of the noise and the fire did not bother her because she could not hear. Whenever I think about the lunch lady, I think of the Ox King.
Female Ox King.
Yeah. No, but like actually just the Ox King though. But like she happens to also be a girl. Sonic saw the lunch lady bring out Cream, but Tails was not being brought out because he was not a woman or a child. Sonic thought, "Damn, he is still my friend." Sonic swallowed his scary feelings and ran into the burning auditorium to Tails, who was passed out in the
Passed
flood.
out?
Passed out. Sonic picked Tails up and ran and brought his body outside to the hallway and began doing CPR on his body. Sonic thought, this will look gay. JoJo's Part 5 reference?
True.
But it did not matter, because Tails was still his friend. Sonic pushed on his body and started kissing him to give him life again.
Not quite right.
Sonic kept kissing and kissing, and Amy and Rouge and Knuckles Jr. watched him as he kissed Tails' face, but Tails was not waking up.
Sonic,
said Shadow over on the side.
Charmy escaped and is running through school like a murderer now. Stop CPR kissing Tails. You have to help us catch him.
Then Silver gave Knuckles to Rouge and said, he's safe now, but he needs to rest. Rouge was so happy she could have kissed him, but did not. Sonic looked and said, Amy, finish doing CPR on Tails. I will let you and will not get jealous. Sonic kissed her mouth and felt one of her boobs and ran off with Shadow and Silver to go catch the guy who was trying to kill Baby Knuckles that was now running around the school and could danger them all. Get ready.
I'm so ready.
This next chapter.
Sonic High School.
Author's note. I wrote this chapter on a train.
Very cool. Chapter 15. Killer on the Loose.
The Luke.
Chapter 15. Shadow and Silver ran ahead into the school but Sonic stopped to go to the bathroom and he took an enormous bad smelling poop. Sonic knew he must be very emotional because this poop was so big that when he tried to flush the toilet, the big poop log just folded in half and clogged still easily. While looking like part of a really fat pretzel that would you get at the mall, not like the little ones in bags from the supermarket. Sonic just said, forget it, and ran out of the now very stinky bathroom and after Charmy B. Sonic passed Shadow and Silver, who were in different hallways and going different ways, but he did not pass them at the same time because they were in different hallways, and because even though Sonic was very fast, he could not actually be in different places at the same time. Sonic went one way and Shadow went the other, and Silver went another way, and it kept happening. One room that Sonic looked at was the art room, and made Sonic remember having art class with Charmy B. Charmy could not control his gay urges like everyone else and used all the colors in every picture where like Sonic just used blue and Amy just used pink and other people were also normal like that. Sonic thought about how this was and that it was still surprising that Charmy could do something like this. Shadow
Maybe
went into
Charmy's
room,
the only
among other rooms, that was the car fixing room. Classic. Shadow remembered about how he had the car fixing class with Charmy and how Charmy was really terrible at fixing cars because it was not in him to do something that was like a man would do. Shadow thought it was weird how Charmy could now do something that was so manly like killing. And one room that Silver ran into was the gym room where Silver one time had gym class with Charmy B. He remembered how Charmy was positively the worst at sports and being an athlete, so it made him wonder why Charmy could do something that was actually doing something like killing. Sonic and Shadow and Silver ran around and eventually they just got tired and could not find Charmy at all. Charmy was trying to be a murderer, but they were just tired of looking for him, so they sat down in chairs and didn't do anything else now. Back in the front of the school, Amy decided that she needed to go to the bathroom. Rouge went with her because she had to go too, and Cream stayed with Knuckles and Knuckles Jr. and Tails, who was still trying to become awake. Most people had left the school by now, but there were still some waiting to get into the women's bathroom, but Amy and Rouge did not feel like waiting in line, so they just went to the men's bathroom where normally was the people inside were men. Amy and Rouge were not men, so this was against the rules. As soon as Amy opened the door, a super-powered smell hit her face and punched her right in her nose because it was Sonic's poop smell. Oh my god, screamed Rouge. What is that smell? I've heard this smell 1,000,000 times before, said Amy to Rouge, who could say this because she was Sonic's girlfriend, meaning that she has been around Sonic pooping. The smell of Sonic's poop. Amy and Rouge went to the bathroom anyways because you can never get a break when it comes to going to the bathroom, no matter what. You always end up going, even if you try all to not all night. What? Try all to not all night? They were holding their hands above their noses, and then Amy opened a stall door, and inside what was shocking to see, but she saw anyway. It was Charmy B.
I think it'd actually be like straight jorking it if he was reading this chapter.
Screamed Amy in a scared and shocked way. You're a murderer! Not yet, said Charmy, but I'll start to be by killing you. Charmy jumped at her from inside the stall and into Amy, and they fell back, and Charmy was on top holding a knife and was about to cut Amy apart when Rouge came over and kicked Charmy, and he flew off her body and over the wall by rolling. Take this, said Rouge, and she flapped her bat wings at Charmy to push all the horrible poop air at him. It all went to him, but then Charmy got up and ran right at Amy with his knife and cut her on the leg because he is short, and then jumped back. Ow! Said Amy. I'm dying! Amy fell backwards and got dizzy. No, stay with me, said Rouge. Use your special move while you can. Amy knew what Rouge was talking about, so Amy used her special attack. Amy shouted, Girl Blood! And opened her legs, and a stream of blood shot at Charmy. Since Amy was so good at being nice and caring, which is using her heart, Amy was able to speed her heart up so fast that her blood pumped out of the wound on her leg like a super soaker filled up by vampires. The blood hit Charmy in the face and body and all over really, and it was steaming and burning him, but he looked like he didn't, AC/DC reference, but he looked like he didn't care. Amy looked shocked and yelled, How can you be so invincible? Then Rouge said, I bet he can't handle my special attack, Romance Bite. Rouge flew with her bat wings and went over to Charmy and bit him right in the neck using her fangs and tried to make him fall in love with her, but it did not work, probably because he's gay. He's not working, cried Amy. He must have superpowers. He's going to kill us for sure. Amy and Rouge tried to get away from Charmy, but he kept blocking them and coming at them with a knife. They were finally trapped in the corner, holding on to each other with their best in-show boobs pressing up against each other and looking like the sexiest Legos ever. Then all of a sudden, Tails came into the bathroom and threw a piece of electronic at Charmy. Charmy looked up at Tails and said, But you are supposed to be and he died right there. Tails went over to Amy and Rouge and definitely stopped for a second to check out their boobs without them knowing, but then stopped and said, You're safe now. That was not Charmy. It was a robot. A robot?
I thought Tails was only into 6-year-old girls.
What?
I thought Tails was only into 6-year-old girls.
I don't know, man. I mean, I guess she's technically 18 in this story, but that doesn't make any sense. Tails,
but
being
I
the
guess she still
thought it was a question for idiots, but said, I knew as soon as Charmy was not being hurt by Sonic's poop stink. I was watching from the door. Normally Charmy would have complained and passed out from smelling that, but he did not, so I knew. As soon as that happened, I ran in and went and got a robot killer device for my electronics. Wow, thanks, said Amy and kissed Tails on the cheek for a reward. Really, Tails, you saved us, said Rouge and kissed Tails on the other cheek. This shows you that you can be cool for being smart, except if you are a nerd ass. Tails and Amy and Rouge walked out of the bathroom and back to where Cream and Knuckles Jr. was, and soon Sonic and Shadow and Silver came back, and they were all back together. The lunch lady was the only person still there, and she saw how tired they looked, so she made them all a bunch of chow meat. What? A bunch of chow meat sandwiches, and they all ate until their tummies were gonna burst. All the time they were eating, though, Sonic thought, but then, where's Charmy? And where's the guy who made the robot? And so many other things. High school drama is just so crazy to be a part of. You know what chow are, don't you?
No.
Look up chow. They're like little pets, dude. They're pets. You get them in Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2 as pets.
Yeah, I've seen those guys. I've seen those guys. You go to the little world and they're all like dancing around in the nice looking world.
Yeah, they're eating them.
No!
Oh my god.
It's probably this evil guy. They're probably eating this
They're
evil
eating
guy
the
right
dark
here.
Chows? I don't know if that makes it right, bro.
No, but look, he's mean.
What?
I think this is something
you can buy
unrelated to
chow.
bro. Look, it says chow queso.
No, it's chow. You're eating chow.
Yeah, this is what they're eating in the story.
No, they're actually eating chow though.
That's so fucked.
I was watching the video about this, right? We're almost to the point where I left off.
Okay.
But they said something in that video which I think is really funny because I'm kind of seeing it. They said the whole story sounds like it was written by like a middle school age kid who goes to Catholic school.
What?
Cause I don't know. It just seems very, very Catholic. It seems like a kid who goes
you would know better than me. I never went to any religious
Yeah, as
schools.
somebody who has gone to Catholic school, I think it seems like very much Catholic school.
My mom wanted me to go to like a Catholic school thing for a couple of years, but I didn't.
That's a good thing that you didn't. All right. It was now a new day of school, and Sonic went to it. Sonic took a peek at the auditorium where the bomb had gone off last night, and it looked like they were fixing it, so that was good. Sonic went to his first class and his second class, and all of the classes after that until
lunch. They clarified which classes he went to, and then he went to the rest of them.
Which is what he was at now. Sonic went to his lunch table and was about to say, "Hey guys." "Hey guys." But then he looked at his normal lunch table and thought, what has happened? Tails was not here because he has been mad at Sonic. Knuckles was not here because he is now a baby and with Rouge. Espia was not here because he was at the hospital after fighting with Knuckles before he became a baby. Charmy was not here because he was still in a disappearing mystery. The only guys that were here were Shadow and Vector.
Hey guys,
said Shadow.
What is going on with high school?
What does Vector sound like?
It sure is crazy.
It sure is crazy, laughed Vector while he ate his yellow sandwich.
Has anything new happened today?
Said Sonic to them.
Didn't you hear?
Said Shadow.
Espia is back out from the hospital. He would be here at lunch right now, but he's getting all of his work from his teachers.
That reminds me, said Vector. Also, Knuckles is having trouble with grades. Now that he has become a baby, he has not turned in any of his homework or tests. He's going to fail high school and get kicked out if he doesn't do them.
The retarded guy from Family Guy.
I don't know.
Wow, that's tough,
said Sonic, and then all of a sudden, the announcement speaker came on. Attention teenagers, said the announcement speaker. Amy and Rouge have detention for going in the boys' room. Oh, my bad. Amy and Rouge have denetion. Have detention for going in the boys' room last night after the play. Please go there immediately.
Oh no,
said Sonic so immediately.
Looks like they're gonna be in there for a long time,
said Shadow.
There's no way I can become true boyfriend and girlfriend with Amy if she was trapped in denetion. Detention by having sex.
What? Oh, okay. Said Sonic. Sonic was so upset now. Then the announcement speaker came on again. Attention teenagers, Sonic, please come to the office, said the teacher. Uh-oh, looks like you're in trouble too, said Vector. Vector was always making people mad. He was definitely an asshole to be around. Sonic got embarrassed, like when Ms. Lesson read about his balls problems. Then he ran out of the lunchroom and through the halls with his head down, not looking or talking to anyone, and went to the office.
Hello?
Said Sonic to the office.
What do you want?
Here, this is for you. The school worker who had long hair and a star tattoo with an outline of her face. With an outline on her face. Rouge left it for you before going to detention.
Yay!
Sonic went over to the desk she was at and looking and pointing to and found what she was talking about. which was Knuckles and Knuckles Jr. with a note attached to them that said, please take care of us while... Oh no. Please take care of us while Rouge and SBO are not around. Sonic was so surprised. He had never taken care of a baby before. Forget two. Especially when one of them was his friend after becoming a baby.
Thanks for coming so quickly,
said Knuckles Jr.
I was getting hungry.
Knuckles Jr. was red.
Thanks, narrator. I forgot.
Yeah, I forgot that he looked like Knuckles. You know, his father. Sonic picked up Knuckles. Yeah, Sonic picked up Knuckles and Knuckles Jr. and put them in his backpack and went to the rest of his classes.
If I did
went
that
home.
with babies in my backpack when we were in school, bruh, they'd have gone like fucking minced up.
Like actually, Sonic got home and opened his backpack and took Knuckles and Knuckles Jr. out and put them on his bed.
Look in my room,
said Sonic.
Don't check out the pornos on my desk.
If you don't want to see them. Sonic said, You are both only babies. Knuckles and Knuckles Jr. laughed and ate food that Sonic brought up for them and after they laughed. Does Knuckles... I'm just gonna... Hi, Sonic! Said Knuckles. Yeah, can you help me? Oh, no. He's just actually still Knuckles. Hey, Sonic, said Knuckles. You gotta help me out with my homework. It is very hard to write as a baby. So then Sonic helped Knuckles learn and write, and he finished doing his homework. Knuckles probably did a lot of things wrong, but Sonic did not care, because homework was boring.
That's true.
Homework equals boring. Sister equals dumb. Then Sonic went to mow the lawn. Yeah. Then Sonic went to mow the lawn, which made his balls itch extra.
Yeah,
and then he went back upstairs, but stopping on the stairs to put some soothing poultices on his balls.
So what do you guys do for fun?
Said Sonic to Knuckles and Knuckles Jr. Well, said Knuckles. Can we tell you and you promise you will not tell anyone?
Don't worry.
Knuckles Jr. said Knuckles Jr. to Knuckles.
I can tell you he will not tell anyone.
Okay then,
said Knuckles to Sonic. When we are alone and not being held by Rouge, we like to practice kissing each other.
Okay.
It is technically okay because I am Knuckles Jr.'s dad and a dad is allowed to kiss his baby?
What the fuck is that next line?
No, I don't want to read it. I haven't even read it. What is it?
Do it!
Cool, said Sonic. Show me. So Knuckles and Knuckles Jr. got very close to each other and kissed each other in a really good way. It was okay because they are father and son and both brothers, and that is allowed everywhere. It is not illegal.
I'm not sure about that.
Even if they are both babies now.
Isn't incest
the two of them
illegal
kissing
in, like,
looked like... What?
Isn't incest illegal in Virginia?
I think it's illegal in a lot of places.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Like, I'm pretty sure it's like half of them.
You're joking.
Are you serious?
The only... You're in the incest state, buddy. Not me. Not anymore.
Holy shit. I didn't know. I thought it was like half and half.
Nah, you're in the incest state, and I'm not.
That's crazy. Okay, well, like, rape is illegal.
Well, I'm pretty sure incest would be considered statutory rape.
Is it actually?
Maybe? Because it's like a power dynamic thing, kind of, I think. Depending.
Okay.
Ugh.
Okay. It does not... Okay. Not in the super incest state.
So at least you're not in like the super duper evil pedo incest state. You're just in the normal incest state.
What is that one, like, weird game?
The Coffin of
Yeah,
Indian
that one.
Lily or
That one
whatever.
now. Yeah, that takes place in Rhode Island, I
I
guess.
immediately fucking knew what you were talking about too.
I mean, it's the only game I can think of that's like that, you know? Ohio?
However,
Oh, yeah, now, yeah, what about now?
crosses arms, looks dejected.
No,
Well,
you're in an incest state too, buddy.
Alright, buddy. Alright.
Wait, that's weird.
Yeah, when I move to
What?
Europe, it's gonna be different.
No, you're actually in the really cool state, actually. Out of the three.
Out of the three, this one might be the. Oh. I mean, incest is still bad, even if it isn't parent and child.
Yeah,
Even
but
if
that's
it's,
just like
brother
really
and sister,
weird.
or like whatever. That's still fucked up. But I mean, at
Yeah,
least.
like
I mean, at least it would prevent that kind of abuse.
out of the three.
Out of the three,
Out of the
that's
three.
probably
that's the
the
best
because
one.
the other ones just aren't making it legal at all
Yeah,
above
that's
a
weird.
certain age. Like, yeah, I'm fucking my
All right, I'm in the
dad.
second. I'm in the second best one. I'm in the second best
You're
one.
in the dad fucking state.
Yeah, yeah. This one takes place. All right.
Where were we? The part where they were saying it's not illegal?
Yeah, it's allowed everywhere and it's not illegal, even if they're both babies now. Actually, that's like
I guess Mobius has
that's
different
actually
laws, I don't
illegal
know.
everywhere. Actually, if they're both babies, the two of them kissing looked like not like two big.
Batman.
The two of them kissing looked like two big, not sexual caterpillars pushing themselves together. It was not a sexual kiss. It was a big gold medal kiss anyway. Okay. Wow. Wow, I can tell you are both going to be romance experts when you grow up, said Sonic. I would ask you for some tips, but it would probably be then against the law. Sonic asked them to kiss one more time, and they did. But Sonic videotaped it this time, so he would know how to kiss Amy even better.
Sonic's fucking going to jail.
Dude, Sonic's on the Epstein list, bro.
Whoa, Jeffrey Epstein. That's the island that he was on in Sonic Adventure 2. That was Prison Island.
Yeah. Which would be when she gets out of detention. Then they all had root beer and talked about which girls are the hottest. Which girl do you think is the hottest? Said Sonic to Knuckles and Knuckles Jr. I know my answer. It is Amy. Amy was Sonic's girlfriend, so this was very good of him to say. It proves that he should be able to have sex with her. No way, said Knuckles. Just then, Sonic wanted to slug that little fag bitch in the mouth for saying ugly about his girlfriend, but didn't. The hottest girl is Rouge. None of them could say that Rouge was not attractive because she had the absolute biggest boobs in the tri-state area.
What the fuck?
My opinion is different.
Said Knuckles Jr.
I think the hottest girl is Charmy.
They all laughed so hard because Charmy was so much like a girl, except not hot. Everyone knew that laughing was good for them, even if Charmy was kidnapped or dead. And it made them feel healthy. Knuckles Jr. was definitely the coolest baby. This is true, actually, because everyone could get along with him and he could do jokes also.
That's true.
Then they all got out of their clothes and into bedtime clothes and went to sleep. Sonic was sleeping just fine and normally until there was a whisper at the edge of his face.
Sonic, Sonic, Sonic.
Said the whisper.
Sonic, Sonic, Sonic.
Sonic opened his eyes and saw the person whispering to him, and who he saw was right there, which was Knuckles Jr.
What is it, Knuckles Jr.?
Said Sonic to Knuckles Jr.
I was sleeping until you whispered my name to me,
I had a vision.
Said Knuckles Jr.
I know who the real Killer Man is, and I know where Charmy is.
Why
Wow.
the fuck is the baby having like prophetic visions?
Dude, because he's the GOAT, dude. He's awesome. He's been like this.
Mephiles
He-
put
he,
his
like-
fucking cock right in the middle of Knuckles and Rouge, bro.
Yeah, since the beginning. Since the beginning. Yeah, since the fight between SBO and Rouge, SBO and Knuckles, he told Rouge to lay down
Yeah.
because he
Oh
knew
my
that
fucking God,
that
this cool ass baby I made.
Who is the real Killer Man? And will they ever find Charmy?
Find out on the next exciting episode of Piss Drinkers Annual.